Good morning, and thank you for joining Maestro Entrepreneur Center's monthly webinar series. I'm going to go ahead and ask you to please put your contact information in the chat as we wait a couple of minutes just to let all of the attendees join our meeting. Okay, well, let's go ahead and get started. Thank you again for joining us for this webinar. We're really excited to have Ms. Renee Watson, the Director of the Small Business and Entrepreneurship Department for Bexar County, today to speak with us with her team. And so I'm going to go ahead and let her introduce herself. If you have any questions throughout the presentation, please make sure you put them in the chat. We will address them and the Bexar County team will address them. And we will also take questions at the end of the presentation. So let's let Renee take it away.
Good morning, and thank you, Leslie. We are really appreciating, we're honored to be a part of the Maestro Center's ongoing presentation to provide information and resources for our small business community. We wanted to spend this today really talking about how to do business with the county, if not in the county, within the county, how you find opportunities, how are you positioning your business, and we always say even with the private sector. Our PowerPoint will be available on the Maestro's website. We will be sharing those slides. We ask, and I can see the chat box. Make sure you put your email, not just your telephone number, if you have that, because we'd like to add you to our listings. If you have not registered with us, we really appreciate you giving us your time this morning. I'm going to start, and we kind of focused our presentation depending on where you are in business. If you're in a startup stage, we consider that just now, even just having an idea to being around for less than a year or 0 to 1 year. If you're in your growth stage, so you've survived that first year, especially most recently after the COVID and impact of the pandemic, we're providing some information for you to expand your business from 2 to 3 years. And if you're looking for the acceleration of your business, maybe you've been around and you're looking to really to grow your business, hopefully the information we're providing this morning will be able to help you to do that as well. When we looked at the registration, we kind of look at how do you find opportunities. We kind of, as Bexar County, we buy everything on this listing. You may not be able to find it on our website, but we're going to tell you how you can connect with us if you sell any types of goods, commodity services, and construction services. And you can see this list varies from drug and alcohol testing, fire protection, all the way down to religious supplies and medical equipment. Um, and we'll be talking about a little bit about that this morning. When you put your information in the chat, also give us, if you could go back and kind of tell us what you sell. What type of business are you in? Because we're going to get a transcription of everything this morning, and the video is also being recorded. If you're on Facebook or if you're watching it on any other medium, please put your information in that because we'd like to get that information and reach back out to you as well. One of the things that we always ask and we start with is what is your outreach plan as a small business? Have you identified and targeted your audiences from validated lists, directories, and other reputable sources to develop your master outreach database? We would be on that listing as a county government, but also the city of San Antonio, the UHS, and we have this listing on our website. And I know the Maestro Center provides you with plenty of opportunities links and connections for you to be able to develop that so you can start your marketing and business development plan. Then we ask, how are you communicating with individuals such as ourselves and other buyers and small business advocates within those organizations? And then to include trade associations, chambers of commerce, to help with your outreach efforts. And then how are you collaborating with us and key agencies? Have we met with you? Have you come to the office? Have you sent us information? And then we can help you connect with those that do the end users are buying that kind of um, the plan. Step 4 is developing that communication collateral and materials. Prior to COVID, prior to all of the issues with cybersecurity, you were developing brochures and newsletters to send out. Now we're looking at what type of electronic postings and fact sheets. Many of the documents are not being read anymore. When you're sending, you may be sending a capability sheet in a PDF file or a link to a Google Docs. Um, Depending on the firewalls of those receiving entities, they may not be accessible. You, we are asking, a lot of folks are doing old school. We're going back to snail mail to making sure we're getting their information about their business. You're picking up the phone call, trying to do more of these types of Zoom meetings, WebEx, Google Docs, or whatever. So many of these things, I get confused. But we're doing WebEx, Zoom, Google, and Microsoft Teams to connect with you. If you don't have access to the different devices, the bibliothèque in the county system, you could actually check out a device and have that internet access, and to include hotspots for bibliothèque, which is the county's library system. Um, Number 5, are you conducting one-to-one field visits, surveys to identify what our needs are? That takes a little bit more conversation, and as we go through the PowerPoint, I'll be giving you some pointers on how to be able to do that, and then disseminating that outreach information via mail and constant contact to facilitate awareness and participation with yourself. If you're on constant contact, there's a lot of different and Eventbrite, as we say, where you can find information. Follow up via number 7, follow up via telephone and email to determine your levels of participation. And that's very important because depending on if you're doing business with the public sector, our dollar thresholds, you may or may not be able to find information on the internet on our website. So you're going to have to reach out and help us walk you through that process. Participate in these types of sessions, especially the Maestro Center has a wealth of information, trade fairs, all types of webinars. And as we go back to in person, um, we know that there'll be some exciting events coming up because we have to do better in connecting with each and every one of you who have expressed a desire to do business with us and other public agencies throughout the community and the private sector. If you could, but pool your resources. If you're looking at a bid, they call joint ventures. Collateral could be submitted together, so you have increased capacity to be able to do and respond to some of our solicitations, or just to be able to do business at all. Those are called cooperative contracts, interlocal agreements, and I'll show you some of them as we go throughout this presentation this morning. And then if you have the opportunity and you've done a good job with someone, capture those testimonies and put them on your website because we do check. Okay. And then after you've done all of that, let's go back and reevaluate how successful you were. Determine whether that target audience you selected was clearly identified as a recipient of the service or benefit. And what does that mean, Renee? Well, if you're trying to sell me something as a county that we don't buy, you're really wasting your time and your staff time. Really go back and really look at it. If you go into an outreach event and the individuals there don't buy, why are you going to that event? You're wasting your time. You really have to be targeted of what you're doing because you have so many limited time as a business owner. We know you're the marketing, bottle washer, window washer, and everything all together as a small business owner. So we're asking you to really go back and to make a determination. The Small Business Development Center, Maestro Center, and several other groups can help you to look at that and that marketing and outreach plan. Analyze whether the means and methods selected to conduct the outreach um, gave you the desired income, and then assess whether your staff or yourself possess the required skill sets to achieve those desired incomes. There's a lot of trainings, free training, especially through Bibliotech in our library system for small business. It's free training. All you need is a library card. Through the City of San Antonio's library, they have a small business development website portal where you can access all types of training for small business and for your staff. Identify the last one, identify such barriers that include departmental or agencies, policies, management, staff. We say at the county, if you're not getting a call back, let's talk about that. Maybe we need to kind of understand who you're emailing, who you're outreaching to, so we can help you to facilitate those conversations. So let's talk a little bit about Bexar County. Many of you think we are very excited to have our history-making female commissioners court members who have joined us. But the member of the court is the final decision maker on policies and budget. And then we have our big five that also oversee and have their own state and statutory authority with the county. That's the district clerk, the county clerk, the district attorney, the sheriff, and the tax assessor collector. So not only do we have commissioners court, but we have what we call the big five. Depending on what you sell, those individuals, as well as the commissioners and the offices and departments that report to the county manager, may have a different process on how we contact the end users. We buy pretty much everything because we're in the criminal justice business, the public safety. We have the fire marshals, the medical examiners, the law enforcement, the juvenile justice, and civil courts. We also have the public records, the tax collection, elections. We build streets and drainage. We look at economic development and all types of programs to increase the quality of life for the citizens of Bexar County. We also do development agreements. We have an economic development department, and the map shows you that we're at the crossroads of I-10 and 35, and we call that Bear. The X is a crossroads, but if you know the history of Bexar County, it used to be a J. It was called Bejas. But we say that the X is a crossroads for anywhere you go in the United States. You have to come through San Antonio and Bexar County. So we're very excited to be able to welcome our headquarter companies, the corporations, the manufacturers, and support our industries and all of our economic development efforts. We also meet with them often to talk about how they are sourcing and getting small businesses, especially in our local Bexar County businesses, involved. So when you see something out there, David Marquez heads up that department, and we always like to have the feedback and the association and the inclusion of our small business community. The private sector, we always include this side because the National Minority Supplier Development Council is the overseeing national agencies that helps with the certification and the connection with our small business community. The local chapter is the Southwest Minority Supplier Development Council. And why is that important? Because groups like Toyota, HEB, Coca-Cola, they have what they call a second tier program. We have a very successful program with Dell, and we have a local vendor that sells the computers for Bexar County. So we put them in the punch out. We're looking at programs such as with Granger. So you have, which provides tools and public works and maintenance types of equipment. So if you are in a supply chain of a national firm to include as a hub firm for the state of Texas, if you're on a cooperative or in a local, if you have existing contracts, we'd like to know about those because the county has an opportunity through our purchasing department. If we accept the same terms and conditions, we can probably buy off of those contracts. So we look at those. We don't like to limit competition, but we will look at your opportunities off of your interlocal or cooperative contracts. We have a small business policy that says that right now our participation targets are 20% minority and women-owned business. There is no inclusion in the evaluation factors in when we review goods, commodities, service, and professional services. We have recently completed our initial phases with our consultant for our disparity and availability study, and we will be publishing those information probably within the next 60 to 90 days of what a new program for the fiscal year October 1 may look like regarding race and gender neutral program and the race and gender conscious program. So we will be working with the Maestro Center to bring you an updated website and webinar information as that goes forward. We have that DBE policy, which is the federal process. We are a sub-recipient to the Texas Department of Transportation. And what does that mean? When we build roads and bridges, we follow the DBE program. So if you are a disadvantaged business enterprise certified through the Texas Unified Certification Program for the DBE and you offer those services, we have opportunities when we build road and bridges through the Alamo Regional Mobility Authority and their contracts and what we do with our Bexar County Public Works Department. We have very few active projects, unlike the city of San Antonio, which has numerous projects, all under the Federal Aviation Authority, which is the center of San Antonio's airport. They have quite a few opportunities, and if you have not looked at their website lately, you might want to get involved because we work in partnership with their DBA liaison, as well as Federal Transit Authority, which is via Metropolitan Transit, and they are looking for DBEs as well to participate on their projects. Our stakeholders, and we've talked about a little bit about a few of them, but there's local government, all of the um, there are municipalities. There are 21 municipalities. I think it's 21 now in Bexar County, not just the city of San Antonio. Then oftentimes you don't think about to be able to do business with. So, but you might want to go to our website, and we have a link called Opportunities, where we provide their purchasing department's link, as well as all of those counties that connect to Bexar County that we serve in the Alamo Regional Council of Governments, and it's 12 counties that touch Bexar County, and all of us together, and all of their information is linked from our website. State government, we provide links to the 274 state agencies, colleges, and universities, because as a hub vendor, we heavily promote the hub certification because it gives you the most opportunities to do business. Many of our purchasing departments, they go to the CMBL, the Central Master Bidders List, to find vendors to do their solicitations. So if you're on that list and you're hub certified, not only do you get an opportunity from us directly, but some of those opportunities that come through the state as well. The federal government, there are 26 agencies. We have those listed on our website with their links to their Office of Small Business and Disadvantaged Business Utilization. They're looking for you to be DB certified or small business certified as well, and especially the HUD department, the Housing and Urban Development Department, because the San Antonio Housing Authority, as well as the Bexar County Housing Authority, has the Section 3 program. So if you're in the construction business or in the specialty trades such as electrical, mechanical, or plumbing, the Housing Authority has a program called Section 3 that gives you the first right as a small business to be able to do some of their plumbing in their resident facilities. So you can get a link from our website to the Section 3 program, or you can go directly to the San Antonio Housing Authority or the Bexar County Housing Authority. The private sector, we talked a little bit about the industry trade groups, professional associations, chambers of commerce, all of their contact information and lists. We have a list of stakeholders posted on our website. We put this slide in here because we also know that since we have the county clerk's office, the assumed name is where you get that to start your business. We have found that during COVID, many of you have applied for the PPE or the disaster loan, but you were required to have a DBA to show when you had started your business. We have found that probably 70% of those folks that were applying did not have a DBA on file with the Bexar County Clerk's Office. And we've had a lot of activity, a lot of processing for that. So if your DBA is not current, because it does expire after 10 years. So if you've been in business a while, you might want to check to make sure that somewhere in your documents you have a current filing for your doing business as or assumed name. You do that through the Bexar County Clerk's Office. If you have an LLC, that's a different conversation at the state level. So the next resource providers, if you need financing and assistance, we have the micro lenders. Wood Forest is over at, I believe the Wood Forest is in their services are still at the Maestro Center. We have Lift Fund, we have other partners, People Fund, that can help you with that, as well as the Westside Development Corporation, SAGE, which is San Antonio Growth for the East Side. They have abilities to help you with financing. Several banks, the Surety Association of South Texas, bonding and technical assistance program. We are looking at developing an actual program with the Surety Association and a working group in San Antonio, and I believe the city of San Antonio is also talking about that. The SBDC Center provides you with counseling one-on-one, the MBDA Center, the Women's Enterprise Center, the SBA, and then the certification agencies as well. Now let's talk a little bit about opportunities with Bexar County, which is, I think, why you got on this call to begin with. We have our Bexar County Purchasing Department that handles all the transactions, whether they're formal, which is our threshold is $50,000 and above to be publicly advertised and posted. Informal bids are $50,000, $49.99 or less, which is considered informal. We have to get 3 quotes. And then we have our P card program. Bexar County offices and facilities, our visitors tax projects, The community arenas at the AT&T Center and the Coliseum are funded entities of Burke County. So they also have small business programs, and we'd like to see them to do as much as they can with their facility as well. University Health System is a funded entity of Burke County. Now, they also have a procurement office, and then we work with them to make sure that they have a small business program, and they are doing tremendous with the efforts that they're doing, especially with all the activity they have during the pandemic. The tax abatement projects, such as the PGA, TPC, San Antonio, and the Marriott Resort, we were heavily involved in that project to help with the connecting to the small business community. Often overlooked, but they also have ongoing opportunities during their operation through their purchasing department out there at TPC San Antonio. We have on our website a guide to doing business that will give you the details, a lot of the language, a lot of the contracts information on how to do business with Burke County. And then I'm just going to highlight a few in this process. So on the website, you can see the links on the left navigation. If you're looking for cooperative purchasing and how to get listed, I talked a little bit about those earlier. How do you find solicitations for goods, services, facilities that are active? In our supplier portal on Infor, we have those bids posted. And I'll show those to you in a few minutes. Solicitation for public works, we use a system called CivCast.usa.com is how you find construction bids for what we do here at the county. Professional services, they're also listed on the front page, normally of the facilities or public works when they're looking for architects and engineers. And then how do you find closed bids and past awards? Those are posted on our website as well in our supplier portal. And those are very, very important because you can track um, the market study. When you're doing your marketing, you want to know what the bid price is. When you're doing estimating, you might want to find out when did we buy that the last time and how much did we pay for it and who the other bidders were. That bid tab sheet is posted in that on that site. One of the other things that we do in order to get you information through the social media channels is we post bid alerts in English and in Spanish. So Sonia does those for us. So you'll see the bid alert in our social media, wherever we're putting it on LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. You will see the click and it will take you to the information about that bid posting, whether there's a pre-bid conference, what the requirements, when the addendums are posted, we also send out that information. You go to our purchasing department's website. It gives you how to register with the county. Hopefully all of you are registered, what our current solicitations are, the process and procedures, and if you want to request bid debriefings, bid information, that information is also through there. It also gives you the contact and who you can talk to at the purchasing department, depending on what you sell. The different buyers are outlined on that system. Requirements and pre-requirements, we just ask that you register as a vendor. If you are certified as a small minority women, veteran, LGBT, disabled type of business, you attach your certification certificate that you have received to your record and also make note on the record. When bid submittals come up, make sure that you sign your bid, make sure that you submit it on time. You can't be 1 second late. If you have problems with your system, if you're doing the bid online, make sure we get a hard copy at that moment at the time. We do not make any waivers for, and we've seen and we've had bid protests because someone's internet wasn't working and their bid was late. Make sure you get it in on time or before time so it would not be declared non-responsive. Compliance and reporting, we provide those ongoing throughout the contract, administration of the contract. I'm trying to rush through the remaining slides so we can have time for Q&A. This slide is how you go to the Burke County Supplier Portal, and this is the requirement for your where you start your registration process and what you have, and it talks to you about what information is needed. We always like to see your W-9 up front, so you already be prepared. If you're successful as a bidder or submitter to be paid by the county, we do require that W-9 from the county auditor's office. Current thresholds, again, informal procurement, strategic sourcing, where we at least have 3 quotes, and then our formal solicitations where we advertise for those opportunities. Cooperative purchasing, we buy and we have agreements with all of these entities that are listed. If you are a vendor on one of these types of contracting vehicles, please make our purchasing department aware of that so they can look at that when those solicitation opportunities come up. And I'm going to read those in case some of the folks are on by phone. The state term contracts, TexMAS, the Texas Municipal Award Schedule, the GSA, the U.S. General Services Administration, the Texas Interlocal Purchasing System, the Texas Arkansas Purchasing System, it's called TIPS, the Texas Association of School Boards, which is the Buy Board program, the Texas Cooperative Purchasing Network, TCPN, if you sell technologies, the Texas Department of Information Resources, we often refer to it as DIR, the U.S. communities, and then all other local governmental entities, such as if you have a current contract with the city or if you have any kind of contracts with SARS, CPS, we look at those as potentials for us to buy off as well. Our Bexar County Public Works Department administers all of the road and bridge and those types of projects, and they buy goods and services for their staff and the general operations. So this, you can see they also do animal control services. So some of the things that you might not think that we buy at the county, if you go through the department's websites, you can see some of the other types of goods and services that we also procure. This is our DBE policy and program and how we are actively, I serve as the county's Disadvantaged Business Enterprise Liaison, and Brenda Rodriguez serves as the analyst for the DBE program. We actively monitor and we make sure we do all data collection and reporting for the DBE program. When the general contractor submits, they make a commitment to a small business. We follow up to make sure that that small business receives that scope of work. They're receiving payment, and then if there's a substitution, we make sure that we follow all federal guidelines for the implementation of the DBE program. Open bids, this is how you find the current solicitations that are out there, again, going back to our Infor and supplier portal through the purchasers website. You can see this was taken last month, and you can see the variety of things that the county is openly soliciting. Payroll replacement system, University Oaks renovation, a Justice Center basement renovation, a kitchen update, and then professional services for a road and bridge project. If you check it today, you may see one or two of these still there. No, most of them, because the close date is 4/21, 4/23, and beyond 4/30. So these should be still out on the portal along with other information. Close bids, and we talked a little about this earlier, how you can use this to help with your marketing and your pricing when you're doing estimating. So you can see that these were posted, they were pending awards, they were back in December. If you go to the system now, they'll show you a bid tab, and you can see if they were awarded, the different types of firms that may have applied, and then their information. I mentioned earlier CivCash USA, which is our construction bid portal where we post for construction. And when you go to that center, it gives you a lot of information on that site. So this is, for example, our FM 471 pass-through project, $16 million for this project. It gives you the time for the pre-bid. It tells you about what we're doing, what the roads and conditions are. And then it gives you a contact person. And so you can reach out back to our information to get more time sensitive information you may need. We always encourage that you go to the pre-bid conferences because everyone in the room is looking to do business on that project, and it's a great way to network if you sell anything in the construction industry, such as your services or after services. You may be very successful in getting on one of these projects. Growing your business, I just want to just say briefly, just talking about the certification programs. This is on our website, and there's a video that we've done on how you can grow your business through certification programs. How do you find that information? How do you find the different capacity building programs we have? And that's through the link we have where it says "Grow Your Business" on our website. Certification means to us, we accept all certifications from any bona fide agency. We do not have a requirement where we restrict you to get certified from one agency because we feel like that's a burden. And if you're already certified as a hub, just come to us and we'll put you in the system and we'll make sure of that. whatever that status may be. The directories we have on our website be very easily accessible. They are exportable at no cost. So if you are Prime, you can go in and make sure that you get your information. If you're a sub, or if you are in any of goods, commodities, suppliers, any types of activity, you can sort by a variety of certification designations, whether you're a small business, and you can see the listing, Native American business, the disabled, all of the different listings are there for you to be able to choose and make sure that they're on your record as a certification agency. We have a quick video that you can watch. I think it's about 4 minutes long that talks about the different agencies and who's responsible for what throughout the state of Texas. Hub certification, many of you are hubs. We like for you to make sure you keep your records up to date in the hub system because the CMBL is very important. As a public agency, many of the purchasers and end users actually use the hub certification and the hub directory more so than any other certifications we have found. TxDOT has the portal for the Texas Unified Certification Program. So all of the folks that are certified through the South Central Texas Regional Certification Agency, the North Central Texas, the City of Houston, City of Austin, Corpus Christi, all of them are in this one system through TxDOT. And just go in, if you are certified, go in and check your record to make sure it is up to date. And if you change addresses, we find that certain staff members used to be the contact. They may not any longer work for your firm. And then now we're getting bounce backs, and then we don't, and you're wondering why you're not getting solicitations. Please go in and check your record. Swimming Excelled is the part of our website where we feature our webinars and opportunities. So you can go on. We just had one this morning. James Massey conducted on actually how to do and how to get into the supplier portal, how to find opportunities, and we have those monthly. And you go back and sign up for next month. We had the buyers webinar. We've had the SBA webinar. So on that website, the webinar is posted as well as the slide deck, and we will be posting this one as well. This is just some of the analytics from what we're doing for our social media outreach since October just of this year. In this budget year, you can see the impressions, the posts, and activities that we've done on our social media, how many people are going to those sites, and we're really being sensitive to making sure that we put that information out there. Depending on what you're clicking, we're kind of getting an idea of what you want to know about. And then Sonia manages this, and you can see on our Facebook, just for an example, we've done 173 posts for 32,000 impressions. So we're looking at what types of posts are getting the most traffic and seeing if we can bring more information where you're very interested in. If you have specific requests, please email us, post it in the chat, just call us and we'll have conversations about it. The conference, many of you know that we do this every year in December. This past year, we did it all 100% virtual. We are still in a conversation what's going to be happening this year at the Freeman Expo Hall because we have to social distance about 4,000 people. So probably around August, we'll be making major announcements regarding our conference. And that's the end of our presentation. This is just like a little bit about what we do. This is our staff and our team that's available to assist you. James, Brenda, Sonia, Noel, Miranda, and Amparo. So we're now open for questions. Are there any questions in the chat that we want to go back through?
Yes, we did have a few questions come in. I'll start with the first one we received. Miss Powell, she did ask, will there ever be a need for sweet tea? Will Bexar County ever be for sweet tea?
So I need more information on that. Is that a, it's like a beverage that goes into a vending machine? Or what do we mean by sweet tea? Because we don't have, our cafeteria is managed by a contractor. So we can put you in contact with our cafeteria administrator. But send me an email and let's take a look at what does that really mean. Is that one product? So we'll have to talk about that.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and move on to the next question. Mr. Rodriguez, he asked, I understand co-ops are easy for the buyer, but many times the co-ops serve to exclude local businesses. What can be done to keep Bexar County dollars supporting local business?
And we agree, and that's why we look at if there is a cooperative and if there's a local vendor on that cooperative, we will look at that local vendor first. If there's not, then the county looks at how do we make that a marketplace open bid, depending on what it is. Because the cooperatives are all over the place. If it's a U.S. Communities contract and there's a vehicle service provider in California, no, we wouldn't want to do business with them. But if we have a local person that we can get on that cooperative contract, which is what we spend our time doing, trying to get you on those cooperative contracts. So yes, we agree that those dollars should remain in Bexar County.
Stella is asking, when you receive a certification from the RCA, does your company automatically receive a hub certification?
No, you have to go through the process with the certification agency. The certification agency forwards your application to the state of Texas for their hub office to review. And then because the hub office will issue that certification.
Mr. Anderson, my company is called Postal Hub and More LLC, minority veteran-owned LLC. I will provide third-party services with FedEx, UPS. I will also have print and copying services. I will also, other services that I will offer are notary, shredding, fingerprinting, passport ideas, and more. What kind of service can I provide to Bexar County? What certifications?
So the county buys all of those services, and we have a buyer in the Bexar County purchasing that will need to speak with you so we can make sure if you're registered, what your commodity codes are in the system. So as we procure those items, we can look at your firm. So we need to make sure that you're registered. So you need to reach out to us so we can put you in contact. Make sure you're registered in our supplier portal, the Bexar County Purchasing Department, because I know everything that you listed, we buy those services.
Ms. Puente is asking, is there any opportunities for local nonprofits who offer mental health to do business with the city of San Antonio?
That would be a question for the city of San Antonio. But for Bexar County to offer mental health services, we go through the Center for Healthcare Services. The Center for Healthcare Services is administrator of the Bexar County's selection and providers, and you would need to talk with Adam over there. So send me an email, and we will get you connected with the Center for Healthcare Services.
Ms. Powell, she did expand on her sweet tea business. She's stating that the 20 ounces are for her vending machines and 64 ounces she currently has at HEB.
Again, since we don't have we have a contract for our cafeteria, which is limited right now during the pandemic, but as juries return, it may be something that they wanted to talk about. So we would have to get you in contact with our provider who does the cafeteria contracts for us.
Tamora Gray, are there opportunities for psychologists, and what would you recommend?
Again, since that is like a mental health services, to talk to the Center for Healthcare Services, because they are administrative. They provide, the Center for Healthcare Services solicits those types of service providers, and then they provide them to the sheriff's office and to the jails and other programs that we may have.
Okay. Mr. Duran, as a hub supplier, who can I reach out to buy electrical, lighting, or MRO products?
So Dan Curry is our Director of Facilities Management. I'm not sure if you've had a conversation directly with them, but two things: register as a supplier, send me an email, we'll connect you with Dan Curry or Ponch Garcia, who is the manager of our facilities here at Bexar County, and they often take meetings and they will sit down one-on-one and talk with you as a small business.
The next question, emotional coaching, bilingual. How do I let my services be a help tool for you and your company? So two parts to that question. The coaching may be a benefit we could do with our human resources department. They do an annual solicitation and they look at services for county employees. The bilingual, even our department, we buy translation services. So we go into the system to see what firms are in there to provide translation services, because under Title VI, all of our documents need to be translated throughout the county, the courts, the offices, suppliers. We rotate those contracts because oftentimes they're very small dollar amount contracts. I'd be interested in talking with you because we're getting ready to do something with some of our pamphlets and other documents that we need to have translated as well. Linda Harris, do you have opportunities for professional services in cybersecurity?
Depends on what that means. We have an IT department and we have cybersecurity patriots. I think that's what they call it here. But we would get you a conversation with our BCIT and our director, Mark Gager, to talk about exactly what types of services you're offering. Not sure if you're on the DIR, registered through them as well as a pre-qualified vendor, or if you're on the GSA schedule 7071, I believe, for cyber type services, but we need to look at that. We would do everything we can to get you connected.
Mr. Anderson, thank you for your answer. Postal Hub, what certification will I need to do business with Bexar County?
Any certification. We accept all certifications. How we recommend that you decide, we would ask, and we often promote the Hub certification because it has so many more opportunities. If you're in technology, because of the DIR contracts, if you do facilities, road and bridge, if you can do DBE as well as Hub, you would go through the state of Texas and be on the CMBL, because having 274 agencies, colleges, and universities, as well as many public agencies throughout the state of Texas who do not have small business programs or Hub coordinators, they go to the CMBL and they use the Hub list.
Stella, if you receive a notice that you are a Hub company, must your physical address of the company be in a Hub district of the city? I am not located in a disadvantaged area of the city, so my company would not qualify yet. I have received a Hub certificate.
Okay, so there's two different programs. There's the Hub Zone program, and then there's Hub certification for your business. The city of San Antonio has what we call different zones. If you are located in a census tract, and you get special federal benefits and federal considerations, and that's their Hub Zone program. If you are a Hub certified vendor, you can be located anywhere. It's two totally different types of programs.
Okay, and then Mr. Anderson, he's just asking where we will be posting this recording, and we will be sending the slides over to Maestro Center to distribute to all attendees.
Yes, we'll be doing that. And Sonia, you can tell them where we'll be posting it.
We'll share the slides on our website. I'll go ahead and drop the link in the chat box in just a minute. As far as the recording, if we receive that from Maestro, we'll also share that on our website.
That's correct. And we'll follow up to all of the attendees with the PowerPoint and with the link to it on our website as well.
Thank you. Ms. Gray, how do I go about certifying my DBA as a HUD business? I think she may mean Hub business.
Yeah, to get certified through the Hub, you go to the Texas Hub program, and we'll post a link in the chat, and you can pursue the Hub certification. You can start with the South Central Texas Regional Certification Agency, and they have the application, and they help to facilitate the Hub certification.
Stella's providing some more details. Since my product is one that would be used by your employees/staff members, who is the person that would oversee purchasing a therapeutic pillow for safety and wellness of employees who sit for long periods of time, such as county employees who sit all day or who drive a truck?
So our Director of Human Resources is Manuel Gonzalez. His team has a benefits coordinator, and they look at that once a year. We have tried numerous times, but the budget doesn't, they have not received funding to buy unless it is a medical necessity for ergonomics, the chairs, the information. So we can facilitate, send us an email, we'll facilitate a conversation, a meeting with Manuel Gonzalez, who is our Director of Human Resources. For safety, it's a different question because that's our facilities and our maintenance department, and there's safety goggles, safety vests, safety things that they use, that they buy and they direct purchase through our facilities department, and that would be Ponch Garcia.
Okay, and then we had one last question. What is the relationship between your small business office and university hospital system?
So Bexar County funds the University Health System. University Health System has their own procurement department and their own decision makers and end users. We work in partnership with them to try to make sure that we connect every quarter, they report their numbers and spend to our SWIMBY Oversight and Advisory Committee. So we have a ongoing relationship to help them and their team to do business with the local community.
I don't see any other questions in the chat box. I do want to remind all participants to please share their contact information, specifically your email and phone number. If you do have any additional questions, please feel free to enter them into the chat box. I think we still have about 15 minutes left on this PowerPoint presentation.
So we want to, if we could, we'll go ahead and open mic. And if you raise your hand, if you have a question you would like for us to address, we'll be happy to do that. Oh, we can't raise hand because they're not on this side, huh? How do we get them? Oh, I guess we can't do that, huh?
I think they can. I see an attendee, Stella, she did raise her hand. Stella, if you can go ahead and unmute yourself. Leslie, do attendees have the ability to unmute themselves?
Stella, can you talk to us?
They should. I see 2 raised hands. Nayeli, can you unmute attendees, please?
Can we get the live questions? No? Maybe we can't do that function. Sorry, Stella. I don't know if you want to type a question, but we were trying to get you. I see your raised hand, but I'm not sure who can give you access.
Yes, I don't think attendees are able to unmute themselves.
Okay, I did have another question come in from Ms. Puente. Since we have some time left, can you speak more about the Center for Healthcare Services in order to provide mental health to the San Antonio community?
Yeah, the Center for Healthcare Services is a funded entity of Bexar County. And one of the things that they do is they coordinate all of those types of services throughout the county. Jillian Burley is the director, and they have a procurement center, healthcare services. I'll bring them up and I'll share the screen, and you can see their website, because it is critically important that we have those providers here in Bexar County. The Center for Healthcare Services provides all of the information and the contact, and then how to do business with them and get involved with them as well. And this is their website for the Center for Healthcare Services. So if you are a mental health provider, nonprofit that provides mental health services, we highly suggest you talk with the agency to see how you can be more involved in Bexar County.
Stella has another question. Who is the purchasing agent at UHS to contact for a liaison connection to their dialysis centers and OT/PT clinics?
Let me give you overall, that is Antonio Cariello. Let me get you his, I can get you, we will put that in the chat for you. Is there any other questions?
Not at this time.
Well, we'll leave it
Okay.
open if anybody else has questions for a while.
We did have one more question come in, Renee. Roxanne, does Bexar County have an IDIQ solicitation for electrical contractor services? If so, how can I determine when the next solicitation will be released for bid? Who is the liaison person at UHS for electrical services?
So I am giving you the contact for, if I can figure out how to do this again. Let's see, chat box open. All questions related to UHS, I just put Pauline's information in the chat. She is the Director of Strategic Sourcing and Operations for University Health System. As far as IDIQ for Bexar County, you could talk with Ponch Garcia. He is over our facilities, and he would be purchasing those types of services. Let me put his chat, his information in the chat for Bexar County.
Okay, do we have any other questions?
Any feedback? Great questions. Really appreciate them. Very, very good questions.
I love that you asked for feedback. That's my favorite. That's my favorite.
And then I will also put Manuel's information for human resources, because we go through the any services that may benefit our county employees. Will go through our human resources, and they do that twice a year. I believe they do pre-qualification, like when we have our health fairs, like we've talked to fitness instructors, because the county had a gym, and then they plan to have a gym for health and wellness. So we have a wellness department, and we would suggest that if you do wellness type services, that you reach out to every public agency's human resources department, because usually that's where that decision is made for health and wellness.
Renee, we did have one more question come in. One other service looking to have for Postal Hub is third-party vehicle registration. Who would I contact for that service?
So the vehicle registration is from the state of Texas, but Mr. Uresti's staff, who is a Texas assessor collector and who administers vehicle registration, someone on his staff probably could be able to help. It would be best if you sent me an email, let me forward it to him and his team, and we'll get you an answer back on that.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and share Renee's contact information in the chat box for everyone. If anybody has any further questions, please drop them into the chat box. Please provide us with your contact information, specifically your phone or email. If we did not get to your question during the presentation, we will respond afterwards with any other additional information you might need.
Any other questions? Well, we really appreciate it. We got 6 more minutes. We want to eat up all of our time. For the Maestro Center, we want them to know that we take up all of our time. We're not giving any time back. So, and again, I'll just show you our website. Let me show you that for the last 5 minutes. For those that you're still on the call, when you go to the county's website overall in general, you can do businesses, and then you'll see the drop down for our small business, purchasing, public works, facilities, economic development. And then our assumed named office, or if you need a beer and wine permit, or the tax office, Mr. Uresti's office, dispute resolution. We highly recommend if you have employee issues and you need dispute resolution, they can help you instead of you considering the lawyers that you may have if you have employee issues. We have the county's dispute resolution center and our preparedness center. As you're looking at your office, they can come out and they can do different things to help you be prepared in the future. If the DA's office white collar crime section People still do write checks. We still have small businesses that are being impacted by hot checks. The hot check section of the district attorney's office does provide those services and help you to do and process whether it's employee theft, embezzlement. They will get you in touch with the process through the sheriff's office, and we still get quite a few inquiries about the hot check section. Tax payments, and then we also give you a link to the city of San Antonio. But on our website, the links are there for everything that we talked about, whether the disparity study is coming out, the opportunities, which I really always like to emphasize. We make it convenient, whether it's Bexar County entities, the purchasing public works, the regional counties. As we know, there are 12 counties in our region, and if you click on the county, it gives you the different locations that you're doing business within those counties, to include municipalities. And we know in Bandera County, Bexar County, and there are links directly to those purchasing, so you can find more opportunities, not just opportunities with Bexar County. But if you're in Bexar County, and I'm going back kind of quickly because I'm down to almost 2 minutes, you do Bexar County facilities, and it lists all the municipalities in Bexar County, our special districts, utility districts, and the school districts that if you're doing school work, there's quite a few schools just in Bexar County. So there's a lot of opportunities for you to do business. And then we do the colleges and universities, not just local, but statewide, that take the hub certification. There's the general contractors we also post, because we have verified that these contractors have programs that they look for subcontractors, and they work with our office. They report their numbers, and then as they're doing business with us, we really keep them accountable. And if you have problems, you want to submit us feedback on your experience, we'd love to hear from you. So with that, I think we're done. Leslie, y'all have any questions or announcements? What's coming up next at the Maestro Center?
There's a lot coming up next. So to start off with, this Friday, we will be having a webinar with Mayor Ron Nirenberg and our founder, Julissa Carriello, where they will have a candid conversation about, what's coming up for the business community. We'll have the following week a webinar on taxes, and that is in continuation of our tax series and what you need to know in filing your taxes. And then we actually will be having our construction conference on April 29th and 30th that will be conducted virtually. You can sign up to register for that at maestrocenter.org. And what's great about it is it's flexible. So if you can make all of these sessions, that's great. But if you can't take time out of your busy day, then you can watch it at a later time. And so that will still be accessible for you. It's also a really good networking tool where all of our attendees will have access to each other. So it's a great opportunity to reach out to some of these agencies with procurement opportunities for you. If you have any questions on any of these events, I will put my information in the chat. Please reach out to me, and I'm happy to have a conversation about it to give you more details. But that is what we have going on at Maestro, and feel free and reach out to us anytime. I'd like to thank Bexar County. Renee and Sonia, thank you so much for being here with us today. And it's great to meet you virtually, and one day we'll meet in person. I'm looking forward to it. And with that, this is the end of the webinar. Thank you so much for coming and joining us today.
Thank you.
Thank you.